Now we're going to read Thomas Goes to the Beach. One day, Hatsune Miku went to relax at a hot spring. When she got there, she saw Thomas standing helplessly on the fence. She was surprised that nobody seemed to notice him. "Oh my," said Thomas, glaring at Miku's towel-covered body in confusion, blushing as he did so. "What are you doing here, Thomas? Did your driver abandon you or something?" she asked Thomas. Thomas replied, "That problem was fixed years ago. My throttle just got stuck and I couldn't stop." He paused for a moment, looking on at Miku. Then she then said, "I'll go tell the manager about this. Hopefully Ritsu can fix this problem you're having." I don't know why, Thomas thought to himself, but seeing her like that made me feel a little funny. The man of the hot spring called Ritsu's number when she told him that Percy was right near the site where Thomas crashed. Percy could see the whole thing from where he was standing. "Looks like you got feelings for one of the world's most famous artificial pop stars, eh, Thomas?" teased. "Bother," Thomas sneered. "Just get me out of here." He then muttered to himself, "That engine must be psychic or something." As Percy was pulling Thomas back onto the railroad, he realized, "Hey, wait a moment. That doesn't sound right at all." Pity the day of Thomas's accident had to be the 4th of July. Thankfully, it didn't occur during the night, because he had arranged to meet Luke and his new friend at Lake Kukuwako to watch the traditional fireworks show at that time of day. He was taking Miku and her friends along with him. The display was wonderful, he thought. He decided to take this opportunity to talk to Luke about this day. "Hey Luke," said Thomas, "do you want to hear about that encounter I had with Miku at the hot spring?" "Oh, I already know about that," he blurted cheerfully. "I was there the whole time I told Marilyn Hill all about it." "Oh," Thomas stuttered. He didn't expect this at all. "How did you find out?" he asked. Luke said, "I worked there pulling trains full of people in swimsuits. You know, to give them the tour of the place while joyriding." "It's a little bizarre to be attracted to a human girl, especially a teenager," said Marilyn. "Not if she's a machine," snarked Thomas. Marilyn seemed a little off-put and confused, despite having no face. "She's far more advanced in terms of technology than you are," Thomas frowned. He had never really thought of that before. He said, "Well, robot or not, something about her is very titillating to me, and I'm going to find out just what it is, right after I go and get that jet thing hitched onto my boiler." Thomas went to a site near the lake where engines got to try out the all-new Jetstar 3000 Mark II. It was a jet engine that could be hitched onto the locomotive's boiler, giving him the gift of flight. Thomas was particularly interested in it himself. "That was fun, wasn't it? All right, who wants to go next?" said a man on the podium. Thomas yelled, "I'll go! Pick me! Pick me!" The man noticed Thomas' enthusiasm and decided to have the Jetstar attached to him. "Hooray! Off I go!" shouted Thomas. He whooshed across the lake to the Great Bridge and back again, and was doing this until he crashed into a huge pile of garbage. Woo! That's enough fun. And of course accidents for today. I need to get some sleep if I want to be able to pull the destroyer tomorrow, Thomas exclaimed as he was lifted out of the garbage pile by a large crane. He went back to his shed near Neru's house and put his sleeping paint and mask and went to sleep. The next morning he arrived at the site that the destroyer would soon be. The other engines were waiting for it on the siding, though it was a pretty silly name for a pub with its own distillation pools. "Hello, Thomas," Percy called out to Thomas. "Had any fun with your girlfriend last night?" All the other engines, except Toby, who was rolling his eyes, chuckled at Percy's comment. "Knock it off, Percy," Thomas sneered. "I was hardly even with her." "Oh, really?" Percy remarked. "She must have been awfully close to your firebox when you went to pick her up." The engines laughed even harder, and Thomas blushed. He was too cross to say anything at the moment. "Can it, you guys? The destroyer's coming," said a Japanese engine at the back of the line. The engines were quiet and went to do their job. After the destroyer, Thomas finally had the pipes to start speaking to Percy again. "Hey, Percy?" asked Thomas. "Yeah?" asked Percy. Thomas replied, "Have you ever been in a relationship with, say, an android of the opposite sex?" Percy just blushed and didn't say anything. The other engines laughed so hard that their boilers nearly burst to bits, while one of Bowser's ships, which appeared out of nowhere, laughed so hard that he really burst into pieces, albeit very violently. Later that day, Thomas was thinking how his relationship with Hatsune Miku would go while he was delivering an old beat-up Jetstar 150 Mark III to a local police station. "I can't believe it. I'm attracted to a 22nd century android, and what to do? Should I tell her up straight? Should I just keep it to myself? Should I ask her if she wants to become a steam engine like me? That would be nice. But not for her. She'd want to be transformed against her will. Oh, what am I going to do?" he kept thinking to himself. He got so distracted that he didn't even realize Jetstar accidentally activated, or the fact that he was heading towards a ramp until it... In not too long a moment, it crashed into an outdoor stage where Neru was texting someone on... "Whoa!" yelled Neru. She turned around and saw Thomas poking out of one... "Thomas?" she said. "How did you get all the way here?" Thomas replied, "Oh, I was just pulling this Jetstar along when it was suddenly turned on and blasted me in this general direction." Neru didn't exactly believe his story. "Okay," she said skeptically. Thomas sighed. "It's just not my lucky week, is it?" he moaned depressingly. "Say," he said, "do you have any advice on how to form a romantic relationship with a singing robot?" "No. Why?" she asked. Thomas hesitated before he said, "You see, I'm in love with Hatsune Miku." Neru was speechless. She had never heard something like this coming from King Steam Locomotive. Her shocked expression slowly turned into a mischievous grin before she said, "Oh, this is going on my Facebook page." Thomas was embarrassed. As soon as he was sent back to the main line, Ritsu told him to pick up passengers to deliver to the beach. He heard James puffing up from behind him. Hey Thomas, said James. I'm sorry what happened. Is he teasing you and all that? So, what happened last night with you and the Jetstar 3000? Thomas thought for a moment. He started to tell his story. Well, after I was taken out of that nasty pipe, I was sent back to the sheds for repairs. Let me tell you, diving headfirst into that junk was pretty damaging. Was pretty glum back at the shed. Ritz's called workers didn't even know what they were doing. And to make matters worse, I got jealous when I saw Miku with another engine. Now this was one that she really seemed to like, which got me flustered. James interrupted. You mean the new arrival? The red one with the yellow stripes, long funnel, strange wheel attachments? Thomas continued. Yeah, that one. He wasn't too bright, despite his color. He asked me about someone named Thomas Shada. Apparently the vice president of a company. Yeah. Now that just ruined everything. Can someone skip it, please? Alright, I'm sorry, then I'll just continue. He asked me if I was some named Thomas Shade. Apparently the vice president of a company called MMD. I had no idea what he was even talking about. He kept me up for 2 hours while they kept mindlessly chanting "One with the order" over and over again. James was a little confused and interrupted again. He? I seem to recall that she was a girl engine. Thomas continued once more. Oh, well, anyway, that was the least of problems. While I saw Gordon lifting and loading himself onto Charlie. Rift. And you know what else happened? Fearless Freddy joined in! Very, very fearlessly, I might add. And to top that off, the new engine was still chanting. James was shocked and disgusted by what he just heard. Dear God, you're not making this up, are you? I sincerely wish I was, James, said Thomas, as he puffed away awkwardly and thought, I sure hope the passengers didn't hear that. Thomas arrived at the beach when he saw Emily at the station and Miku sitting on the bare sand on an ice top. He started to get really excited and nervous. He was blushing so hard that Emily could feel it from all the way from where she was standing. Oh my, she exclaimed. This attraction you have to Miku is far more than I thought. You know about that? Said Thomas excitedly. Of course I do. The other engines told me all about it, Emily replied. Hi Thomas, Miku called out to him. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what should I do? What should I do? Emily knew she had to try and get the situation under control before it got too out of hand. Just go talk to her. I'm sure everything will be just fine. Whatever Thomas had for a heart was beating faster than a bullet train. Okay, he stuttered, and went over to talk to her. Hey Miku, how's your day today? He chuckled nervously. Fine, just fine, yeah, said Miku, while blushing bright red. Thomas noticed she seemed a little demure. He wondered what was going on that made her feel this way. Didn't have the pipes to say anything. said Miku shyly. Do you want to, help me with the project of mine? Sure, Thomas replied. What is it? She hesitated for a while and said, I, I want to see if maybe steam locomotives and robots can reproduce. Thomas was shocked, surprised, sweaty, and even more excited than he ever felt before. His steam port extended outward. He felt like he had an urge. He didn't know what it was. What do you mean? He said awkwardly. Miku replied, I want to have sex with you. That was it. Thomas finally knew what his body wanted him to do. He wanted to make love with a robot whose technology far surpassed his own, and see what the results were. In short, he wanted to do Hatsune Miku. Well, why do it in public? We can do it in the shed. He meowed wildly. I was thinking of going to the grotto, said Miko. Without even thinking, Thomas said, even better! They both went over to the grotto, their hearts pounding like crazy and their cheeks red hot. But when they got there, things got a little problematic. God damn it! How do people, let alone Android and Steam Engine, do this sort of thing? He complained. Maybe you're trying too hard, suggested Miku. Thomas thought for a moment as his steam port receded when he realized, wait, I could call Emily and ask for advice. Suddenly, Diesel 10 emerged from the pitch-black depth of the ocean near the grotto. Emily came straight out of his mouth in a flash. Thomas and Meek were startled. Why not just use foreplay? She said. And Diesel 10 slowly sunk back into the abyss. Then Mika suddenly realized, oh, why didn't I think of that? Come on, Thomas, let's do this. Miku started playing with Thomas's junk heap until it was ready for the job. She then rubbed it with blazing hot opening outside her incubator and then put Thomas's junk into the entry shaft. Oh, oh, moaned Miku pleasurably. Oh, wow, moaned Thomas happily. They both drooled as Thomas started to play around inside of Miku. In a matter of seconds, Thomas pumped his driving rod into Miku's piston harder than Thumper could ever had hoped to dream of pounding anything. They both sweated immensely and clung to each other as they did their dirty work. Oh my god, oh my god, oh god, Miku, as she breathed heavily. Oh man, oh man, oh yeah, oh that feels so good, moaned Thomas as she breathed heavily. They both started to twitch and to throw and to breathe even harder. Oh god, Miku, moaned Thomas in immense pleasure. I think my whistle's going to blow. But Thomas wasn't talking about his own two whistles up there. He was talking about the whistle down there. Oh, Thomas, I think I'm about to come hard, moaned Miku loudly. Thomas pumped his piston harder and faster. Their eyes started to water. they suddenly felt a huge rush of endorphins and adrenaline and did each other even harder and faster. Oh, 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 oh! Thomas had no idea how it happened, but he knew that he finally did it. He, a 1900s E2 Billington with a face, had suddenly passed down his genetic material into a futuristic android from the early 2100s. He felt very proud of himself and overall very, very satisfied. Wow, said Thomas while trying to catch his breath. That was amazing, Miko replied. When I get married? It's kind of too late not to do that anyway. Maybe after that, we could do this again sometime. Sure, said Thomas. Why not? They happily went off into the sunset and lived ever after. But then, when Thomas wasn't looking, Miku called Ritsu on the telephone. The deed's been done, she said, and I think we're about to do a lot more. Excellent, darling, Ritsu replied. Looks like Project Rail Hybrid is officially underway. I guess that when it comes to scheming and steaming for a miracle to happen, Emily really knows her stuff. She chuckled artificially as she hung up on Miku. Ritsu knew that her diabolical plan had worked. The end.
What was that?
Brilliant.
Oh my god.